Hello and welcome to Shark Jets. I'm SkidViz. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to do what's called grayboxing, which is basically where you rough out a level really quickly using gray boxes. So we're going to be using ProBuilder and ProGrids to quickly design a really simple first-person maze style level. So before we get into that, please make sure to like and subscribe so I can keep making videos. And without any further ado, let's do it. All right, so here we are in Unity. As you can see, all I have is a plane to stand on and the XR rig. I'm currently using VRIF because it is the BEST, but you could use your standard XR rig or any, you don't even need XR for this. Actually, this will work in anything, as long as it's 3D games. So the first thing you want to do is get a package. So again, I'm on 2019 LTS, so this is the way you get packages there. If you're in 2020, then good luck. So you go to the package manager and you wait for it to load, and then you search in here for ProBuilder. There it is, version 4.4. And then you go ahead and install that. Okay, once that's done, I also like to install something called ProGrid, and that is in preview, so you'll have to come in here and show preview packages, and there you'll see it, ProGrids, preview, whatever. So we'll go ahead and install that as well. Okay, once that's done, you'll notice ProGrid here on the side has a bunch of stuff for you, and basically it's going to throw on an extra grid here. Right now it's set to Y, but if you click on X and you turn it on, you'll see this new grid that's there, and if you set it to Y, then it's also there. You see that right there. And if you set it to Z, it's of course also there. I like to set it to Y, but you can do whatever you want. And this is basically for aligning things. So let me just demonstrate that real quick. If I throw in a cube here, and you can see it moves smoothly. Let me zoom in a little bit. You can see it moves smoothly, and you can see that grid that's following its center, so that you know when it's at a center point there. As you can tell right there, it's on the ground, and you know, now you can kind of get a better view of where it is. But what I really like is the snapping on it can be adjusted so that it snaps better with different things. So let's go ahead. Right here it says off. If you hover over that, you'll see it says toggle snapping. So we'll turn that on. And now when I move the cube, it'll snap to the next location. And you can fine tune the increments here as 0.125 of a meter. So you can just adjust it like that. And so there you can tell I'm underneath the ground. There I'm on the ground. And if I wanted to get it on the edge, same thing. I could just get close enough to the edge and then just fine tune it. Just drag it and snap it. And it's really good for aligning things so that you don't have issues with getting things right where they need to be. But enough about that. Let's delete that. And we will now deal with ProBuilder. So once you have it installed, there's a new window up at the top here under Tools. It says ProBuilder. And then you click on ProBuilder window and it will create a new window somewhere. For me, it was off the screen, so I'll bring it in here and then I'll just dock it here on the side. And you'll see a bunch of things here. And there's two different modes to doing this. You can use icons or you can use text by right clicking on it, picking which one you want. I'll leave it at text for now. And then there's a lot of cool tools here. We're not going to delve into all of it, but we will start with a new shape. And if you click on this, you will get a shape. And I'll just delete that real quick to show another thing. So if you hit the plus sign up here, you'll get a menu instead of a shape, and it lets you choose a different shape. So it's by default, it's set to cubes, but you can go ahead and change it to other things, and you'll see a preview one there. It's that blue one. So if I change this to a sprite, you'll see it's just like a little plane there. If I change it to prism, you can see that that's a prism. There's even stairs if you want stairs. And you can adjust all the settings, how many steps the stair has, what's the curvature of the staircase, that kind of stuff, stair width. It's really, really nifty. Cylinders, door, all kinds of stuff. It's not much of a door. Oh, it's a door frame. Okay, so we're gonna go stick with a cube for now. And this is just a preview, that's why it's blue. So if you wanna actually set it up, hit the build button, and that'll dump a real one there and then create another preview next to it, but we don't need another one. So that's how you do that. So you can see this has like a really cool texture that lets you know that it's a prototype, and it's 1 meter in size by default. So we're gonna go ahead and turn this into a level. And the way we're gonna do that is we're just gonna go ahead and select it, and I'm gonna just move it here to the center of the screen. But anyways, that's good enough for now. So let's go ahead and adjust this cube to turn it into a level. Well, the first thing, this cube is off the plane. So let me reset that to 0. So that is actually back on the ground. And so this cube is 1 meter tall and 1 meter wide, and our character is probably taller than 1 meter. So we want the roof to be higher. I like to go with 3 meters or 9 feet because I imagine everyone is shorter than 9 feet. So when you're in the ProBuilder area and dealing with a ProBuilder object, you'll see this new menu or the Slew Toolbar up at the top, and it'll have 4 icons on it. The first one is the object selection, and if you've done any 3D modeling, these should be very familiar because they're pretty similar to how it works in Blender and most 3D programs. So when you select the object, you can move the whole thing. When you select this first one, this is the vertex selection, and that basically means all the points in this object. So as you can see, there's a point there, and if I move it, I'm just adjusting that point, right? The next one is for edges, and as the name implies, you can grab an edge and modify it. So you can apply all the same modifiers that you would to any Unity object. So right now I'm using the move tool, but I could also use the rotate tool and rotate that edge however I want. I'll just undo that. Same thing with scaling. I can scale that edge however I want. And like I said, everything works just like a standard Unity object. The next thing here is the one we're going to mess with. It's called the face selection, and that lets you select just a face, or you can shift click to select multiples. Now, this is where we're going to have fun. So we want to increase the size of the roof to 3 meters. So I'm going to disable my rig so it's not in my way. Click on this face at the top and just start dragging it up. And this is why I like to have ProGrid, because otherwise I'd have to try and figure out exactly where that line was. But as you can see, it kind of snaps to where that 2 meter line is. And so I'll do one more. Oops, I've gone too far, so I'll just bring it down. So now we have a 3 meter cube. But now also we want to deal with the width. And the way we'll do that is we'll just grab this face and do the same thing. I'm gonna drag it out 1 meter to this side and grab the other face over here and drag it 1 meter out this way. So now we have a 3 meter by 3 meter by 1 meter cube, right? Easy enough. So now we can go ahead and do cool stuff. So okay, let's go ahead and pull this wall out just 1 more meter so we have something to work with. and we're going to assume this is the jail cell that our character starts off in. And now he's going to need space to walk. So we'll go ahead and now we're going to do something different. We're going to hold the shift key and then pull this out. And what that's going to do is it's going to extrude it, which means it's going to leave this line right here, and it's going to create another, it's going to let you pull another box out of this one basically. So I'll go ahead and hit shift and pull this out, and I'll just pull it out too there. And now you can see there's two faces there. So it did that all around, so that now there's two faces here, and on this side also two faces. So basically created an extension of this cube or this block that is still attached at this line. So now we can go ahead and do something different, like reduce the height of this area. So we can do that two ways. We could use the line tool and just select this particular line and drag it down. So you can see now we have a roof that's dropping down. Maybe you'll have to crawl through this area. That should actually be okay for a 6 foot tall person. So now we'll do the same thing. We'll extrude this section here. So I'll go back to my face selection, click on that face, hit shift and pull that out. And you'll see why I did it that way this time again. So now you've got 3 sections. And so we want to create a turn here. So we can grab this face and do a shift extrude again. So now we have a hallway. And I'm snapping everything, but you can actually create a bend here if you wanted to. But we're trying to keep it simple. So I'll just keep it all aligned. Now I can't create another extrude here because this is the whole face. So I'll do a shift extrude here on this side. I'll actually pull that back into that line and then do a shift extrude out to the line here. So now we've got this one to play with, and then I'll do a shift extrude there again. So okay, let's go back and add another exit out here. So I'll roll this back to this line here, then do a shift extrude and bring it out just 2 meters there. Let it go, hit shift again and do that one more time. And now we'll have this wall here. We can do another shift, extrude that out. And we don't want it that far. So we'll just do it to there. And you know what? I'm gonna push that one back to about there and then do another shift out to about there. And then this face, I can shift extrude that one out as well. Now, enough of that wall. Let's go over here and do something with this one. We'll shift extrude this one out. And then we can, let's bring that back in, shift extrude that one to there. And then we will pull this out just a smidge with another shift extrude. And then we will bring it back down. So we'll grab the edge tool, select that top edge, bring that down to there, and switch back to face tool and bring that out to here. And let go, hit shift again and bring that one out to there. And then we will shift extrude to this one. And this is good enough to prove my point. I don't want to take all day. So now it looks cool from the outside, but if you were to start the game, it would look really weird with you inside. Because the normals, the way the walls are facing, are outwards, not inwards. And we can fix that by selecting the object again, and then you'll see this little link here. It says flip normals, and that will literally flip it inside out. So now when you're inside, it actually looks like a tunnel. Now you'll notice the floor is flickering, and the reason that's happening is because if you remember, we have a plane sitting at the exact same location as this box, and they're doing what's called Z fighting. They're both fighting for the same position, the same pixel, and we can easily get rid of that by getting rid of the plane, and now we are good to go. Another thing you might want to do is add some lighting, because you're indoors now and this is very dark. So we'll go ahead and just put a few lights in here just for the heck of it. So right click, light, point light, and where is that? All the way out there. So we'll bring that in here. And what you want to do is set it to baked, because bake lights, when you're dealing with VR, especially if you're doing something for the Quest, a bake light will not take up as much processor power, hardly any at all. And so we'll do that. We'll make a copy of that. Just Control D and bring that one to this point. And then I will Control D again and bring it to this point just to prove a point. Now, when you're baking a light, if you don't know, the reason why you're not seeing any lighting being affected is because light has to be baked at a particular time. It doesn't happen automatically. So if you go into your lighting tab, then you can get to it through Windows Lighting, or you should have a tab up here. There's a button there that says Generate Lighting, and when you do that, it's going to take a while. So I will just hit this button and let it light up. And you can see now everything is very well lit inside of this cube because of that bake lighting. It might be a little too bright. But anyways, that's how that is done. So now if we go ahead and play this, we should be able to walk around inside this cube. Before we do that, hopefully you noticed that I forgot to re-enable the rig. So I will go back here and turn that back on so that we can actually use it. And hopefully we're not inside of a wall. Let's find out. Okay, we are not inside of a wall. So as you can see, we can move around. Our collider will keep us from falling out. You can stick your head out if you have your rig set up that way. But for the most part, you've just built a first-person shooter level with without any fancy tools other than ProBuilder. So this should be where our turn is here. All right. Now I do want to offer you some helpful advice. When you're dealing with ProBuilder, you need to make sure that that you're aware of this toolbar up here. For instance, if I were to, let's just, I'm going to select this and flip it back inside out. So flip normals again, and just to illustrate a point. So if I come here and select, well, let me bring in just a regular cube, just as an example. So we've got this regular cube here. Okay, so if I come back here and select the face on this, and then I come over here and select this cube and try to move it, you can see now that my move control isn't working, my rotate control isn't working. None of these seem to be doing what they're supposed to be doing, and that's because I'm still on the face selection of the ProBuilder tool. And this isn't a ProBuilder object, so I can't do anything to it. So you got to make sure that if you realize that, hey, my inputs aren't working here for this thing, make sure that you're in object mode so that it's back to normal as it always is. So that's something to keep in mind. I've had that bite me in the butt a few times, where I think this system's crashed or something and it's not responding, and it's because I've got this accidentally selected. And there you have it, quick and easy as usual. I hope you found this video helpful. ProBuilder is an amazing tool and you can do a whole lot more than what I showed with it. And if you'd like to see me do more videos, please make sure to leave a comment so that I know that that's what you want and I can add it to the rotation. If you found the video useful, please make sure to like and subscribe so that I know that as well. And until the next time, I'm still SkidViz. Peace out. Hi there, me again. I just thought I'd take a second to thank you for watching this video and to also fill you in on other places where you can get a hold of me and interact with me. I'm currently working on a game, and that should be the story for the rest of my life. And when I do, I like to live stream it on Twitch, so you can follow me there to watch me struggle and deal with the problems live. And I'm also on my Discord. You can join us there and we can talk about games and Unity and VR, whatever you want to talk about really, as long as it's relevant. And I also have a Patreon, and you can become a Patreon member. And if I have code that I can share that isn't licensed, doesn't use some proprietary thing, I will post it there so that you can download it and have access to that, as well as other things as I think of them, maybe some swag every now and then. So again, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you here and anywhere else. Thanks. I'm still SkidViz. Peace out.